Hi all, I'm with Adam Rove this morning. We've got a day off from the tournament. I'm with International Master Kolbus, who recalls a very interesting game from last year's British Championship against Jack Rudd. So Dietmar was white against Jack Rudd. Dietmar was 2-3-9-3 at the time of this game, and Jack Rudd was 2-3-4-5. He kicked off with c4. And Jack Rudd, he's playing very quickly in this tournament, this year especially, and he's not doing particularly well at the moment. But last year he did, very well overall. And he's also doing the bulletin. He's quite a personality within the tournament. He played e5, and after knight f3, knight c6, it looks as though, black doesn't mind white playing an early d4 here, and that's what Dietmar played, d4. And really, he's going to get control of d5 later if he can get rid of his d pawn. There'll be more. A grip on the d5 square, as we'll see. So knight takes d4, bishop c5. Although black's got seemingly active pieces here, Dietmar just retreated the knight and let the bishop go back to e7. Now after knight c3, we see this classical control of d5. So it looks quite comfortable intuitively for white. So Jack played knight f6, and then we have e4. So white's continuing that sort of bind on d5. So Black, without that e5 pawn, it looks a little shaky, the position. But after castles a3, black played d6. So how does white, break down the black position here? Well, Dietmar just carried on with simple positional moves. He played bishop e2. After knight d7 castles, he let black play knight c5, and seemingly established, control of d4 now by taking on c5. So a little bit maybe controversial, that decision. D takes c5, but black has the double pawns. But the important thing now is that white is able to play knight d5. It's a very powerful move here to play. And if black's not careful, maybe just white will just carry on simply with bishop e3 and just get the rooks to the centre with a very dominating position. Black played bishop d6. So maybe there's some hints, of coming in for an attack rather crudely. Dietmar played f4 to squash that bishop, make sure it was restricted. But we see there's a subtle implication that this diagonal is slightly weakened. And this forms the basis of a tactical idea later, which is neatly refuted by Dietmar, as we'll see. So f6, now the move bishop e3. So, Dietmar, at this stage you were quite comfortable with your position?
Yes, because I had calculated the following sacrifice.
Not quite yet.
Okay.
Bishop e3. Sorry,
bishop e3.
So, sorry, you calculated here the sacrifice?
Yes, I was calculating it. Yes, because my problem is I don't want to permit my opponent to get to d4 without any compensation on my side. And for that reason, I invested 30 minutes in this position.
30 minutes on this position?
Yes,
in playing bishop e3?
Yes, because I was actually prior to e3. Because when I took c5, I was thinking 30 minutes about this position, because obviously it gives black a strong control of d4, and I need to neutralize that somehow.
Right.
And for that reason, it took me quite some time to evaluate this situation thoroughly.
So even here, this wasn't just a casual move. If we rewind here, this knight takes c5 was easily calculated.
Yes.
Even at this stage.
Yes, it was because my problem is here in this case. If I don't take c5, my knight on b3 is always attacked, so I can hardly move my queen. And also, I do not want to permit my opponent to play a7, a5 to a4 or something like this with this knight on c5.
Thank you. Very lucid comments. You see, even with a seemingly, casual move, it's not a casual move because, white doesn't want to give black control of d4. So there's a lot going on here. And this was all seen in advance, basically from knight takes c5. So knight d5, bishop d6. So f4 now. Were there any other particular ideas of f4 introduced? You just wanted to shut the bishop out?
My objective is here to prepare kingside attack. To play either e5 or f5 with an attack on the kingside. I have the majority of pawns on the kingside, and therefore I can start a kingside attack if my opponent doesn't prevent me from doing this.
Right. Right.
That's why he plays f6.
Oh, sorry, Adam, you have something to say.
That's why he plays f6, and you had to see that in advance to calculate the following sacrifice. Yeah. He has to play f6, doesn't he?
Otherwise I could play e5, and with e5 I could regroup my bishop to d3 and prepare an attack on h7 long term.
Okay, so Black played f6, so a seemingly ugly move, but necessary to stop e5 and stuff like that. Bishop e3. Now Black comes in with a very tactical move, seemingly at first just losing a pawn for nothing, but there's a nasty tactical idea behind this. But you had anticipated this knight d4 when you had played knight takes c5, which I find staggering, to be honest.
No, it was pretty obvious, because I cannot afford this position if you can outsmart me with a tactical trick here.
Yeah,
so that was really the clue behind it. So it was clue and counter clue. Came down to that.
Okay, so bishop takes d4. So White seemingly blindly just winning a pawn, but he has things under control after Black's next move, which maybe Jack Rudd's even though he has a reputation of being a very quick, intuitive, like kind of genius, but he missed something here when playing c6. The principal idea is basically, if the knight moves back, this will be a disaster for White, because let's turn off the engine here actually. Bishop takes f4. Sorry, not bishop e6. Bishop takes f4. And White's in severe trouble because now the queen's in pre and the bishop. And if queen takes d8, there's these positions like bishop takes e3 check, and then rook takes d8. So what can you see here? If I give you YouTube audience 5 seconds, can you see a killing move for White here that was played?
This is one example of where it always pays to calculate just one move further.
Yeah, but this was, but seriously, this was all when you played knight takes c5. You had seen this idea. So the move is rook ad1, and all of a sudden it's not White's diagonal which is in trouble, but amusingly enough, it's Black's diagonal which causes the tactical implications to be in White's favour. Because now if CD check and picking up the bishop. So Black played queen a5 to try and generate some counterplay.
The threat is now to play to force me to move my knight back. Then he can play bishop c5.
Yes.
Or if I don't do anything, then obviously I need to do something with my knight. So that was my problem. But the problem for him was this plan doesn't work because I have another crashing idea, and we will see this next move.
Yes, to seal c5, simply b4, offering the a3 pawn.
Yes, if he's taking a3, he will lose his queen. Because queen takes a3, rook a1, queen b3, bishop d1, queen is gone.
Oh, bishop d1!
Yes, lose the queen.
Crash!
The plan doesn't work. He cannot take a3, so he needs to go somewhere else. So then he was playing...
So he has to go somewhere else. So he goes now to a6. So Jack Rudd is being
forced again to change his plan because at this time he obviously tried to take a3, but it didn't work. So he needs to come up with a new idea.
Oh dear! This queen on d4 is very dominating in that sense.
Yes, in this position, that's absolutely right. So let's see what I did.
So e5.
E5. Yes, I'm not retracting my. My knight, I will continue to attack him. So that now I'm going after his bishop again. I'm keeping my knight in the center.
It's a wonderful English opening, isn't it? It's a real crush.
Yes.
Considering it was an English opening.
Yes. Let's see what he's doing now.
So c takes. He finally takes. Check. Rook f7. Now you just take with your queen, not with the pawn.
No, I take with the queen because I attack his queen. I also attack. The 8th row, I have some additional chances to for kingside attack.
Yeah. So queen takes d6, queen takes a3, and now
the silent finishing move. I will conquer the long diagonal and finish him off.
So the final coup de grace, bishop f3.
And he resigns.
Jack Rudd resigned. So a 22 move game from last year's British Championship. Thank you for my Adam Rove.
What happens after f takes e5?
I play bishop d5.
Bishop d5.
No, earlier, before queen takes d6. If you e5, f takes e5. What's
F takes e5. So here, f takes e5 here. Takes e5.
Most likely.
And then
It's even worse.
it's even worse because then the black kings lacking in safety would get mated. If he took on f1, takes, and if the bishop retreats, then knight e7 and queen d8 is mating.
Even worse.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that game.
Nice game.
Thank you for my guest commentators today, and please leave any comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.